my name is Alex, and I've always been a devoted gamer, constantly seeking out new and exciting video games. But my passion for gaming would soon lead me down a path of terror and supernatural horror when I stumbled upon a cursed video game, an experience that would shatter the boundaries between the digital world and reality, and plunge me into a nightmarish ordeal. It all began innocently enough, when a friend mentioned a mysterious game called Nightfall: Beyond Reality. Rumors swirled about the game being haunted, cursed, or even capable of bridging the gap between the living and the dead. Intrigued by the potential for a thrilling gaming experience, I acquired a copy of the game. As I booted up the game on my console, a sense of unease washed over me. The title screen displayed eerie, shifting shadows that seemed to dance in the corners of my vision. Ignoring the discomfort, I pressed start and was immediately drawn into the virtual world of Nightfall. The game itself was a visual masterpiece, with stunning graphics and intricate storytelling. But there was something off, a subtle undercurrent of darkness that I couldn't quite shake. The gameplay felt immersive, but the unease persisted, as if I were being watched from within the pixels. As I progressed through the game, the boundary between the digital and the real world began to blur. Strange occurrences would happen in my room while I played, the lights flickering, the temperature dropping inexplicably. I brushed it off as mere coincidence, attributing it to an overactive imagination fueled by the game's eerie atmosphere. But then, as I delved deeper into the game's plot, the lines between reality and fiction grew even more distorted. The protagonist in the game faced malevolent spirits and vengeful entities, and as I played, I felt a growing sense of dread, as if the game's haunted world was seeping into my own. One night, as I reached a particularly intense level, the room around me seemed to darken, and a voice, a whisper, echoed in my ears. "Embrace the darkness," it hissed, sending shivers down my spine. I froze, staring at the screen in disbelief. The words hadn't come from the game. It was as if the voice had emerged from the very air around me. My heart raced, and I felt a sudden urge to turn off the console and flee the room. But curiosity and a sense of compulsion kept me seated. The game seemed to beckon me further, and despite my growing fear, I continued to play, unable to tear myself away from the haunting experience. As the night wore on, the line between the game and reality continued to blur. The characters within Nightfall seemed to move with an uncanny realism, their faces twisting into malevolent sneers that mirrored the whispers that haunted my ears. Suddenly, the screen flickered, and the room plunged into darkness. Panic set in, and I fumbled for the controller, attempting to turn off the console. But before I could, the darkness seemed to take on a physical form, an entity that materialized before me, its eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. "You cannot escape," the entity hissed, its voice a chilling echo in the air. Fear gripped me, and I stumbled back, my heart pounding in my chest. The entity was not confined to the pixels. It had broken free from the game and into my world. Desperate to break free from its malevolent gaze, I grabbed the controller and paused the game. The room grew still, and the entity's form wavered, as if struggling to maintain its presence. With a surge of determination, I closed the game and switched off the console. The entity let out a guttural cry, its form disintegrating into a cloud of darkness before vanishing entirely. Gasping for breath, I sat in the darkness, my mind reeling from the nightmarish encounter. I had faced a malevolent entity that had transcended the boundaries between the digital and the real, a cursed presence that had sought to claim me. In the following days, I vowed never to touch the cursed game again. But the memory of the haunting experience lingered in my mind, a reminder of the blurred lines between reality and fiction, and the chilling power of the digital world to manifest malevolent forces. I shared my experience with others, warning them of the dangers that lurked within the pixels. The tale of the cursed video game spread, a cautionary tale of the perils of delving too deep into the virtual realm. The game itself remained hidden away, a haunting reminder of the night I faced an entity from beyond the screen, an entity that sought to blur the boundaries between reality and the virtual world, and plunge those who dared to play into a nightmarish descent into terror.